Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about bandwidth, emotional bandwidth, and how much energy you might need to refuel yourself with, and the ways that you can do that if you're just feeling depleted. Like we're all tired. First of all, stop watching the news, stop doom scrolling. All of those things are completely depleting you of your energy. It's really important, right? It's important that you don't just drive on empty so that all of a sudden you're living in this survival mode. And not only are you in survival mode, but you're making decisions you normally wouldn't make. You kind of feel icky and you're on edge and you don't feel like you can be yourself. Okay. All of these are signs of complete emotional, psychological, and energy depletion. It's all just kind of running on low. So, the way that I like to handle this, especially if I'm just not motivated at all to do anything, right? Like when we feel drained, the last thing we want to do is do something. But what I would suggest is putting yourself in an environment where you can give yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes of silence, unplug from everything. And I know that it sounds like just as simple as turning something on and off. Yeah, exactly. Have you ever heard that term before where people say, have you tried to turn the thing on and turn it off again? And even big electronics say, wait a few minutes before you turn it back on, including your phone that you're on right now, or your TV that you're watching, or the computer. It says to wait a few minutes before you turn the machine back on. The least you can do is give yourself that, okay? You're allowed to unplug. And one of the inspirations behind today's video was a young lady who came up to me today, and thank you for doing that. She asked me if my name was Kristen, and I said yes. And I was doing some self-love, self-care things today that I was a little bit lethargic and kind of not really feeling, but I was like, I know that this is going to make me feel better. I got my nails done. I don't know if you can see them for the 4th of July. But anyway, she came up to me and said, I want to thank you for everything that you post. I watch your videos on YouTube. And it took everything in me to not cry, because these types of moments are the moments that I know for a fact I'm connecting with people. I am not here to grab attention and have people just listen to me and leave. No, I'm trying to help people with what has helped me, because it keeps me on track and it gives me more purpose and it helps other people, which in return helps me. And we're refueling each other. So you can refuel even in ways that you wouldn't think to. And I wasn't really going to do a video. And I was like, is it really helping that many people to keep posting these videos and these self-healing videos? Because guess what? We're always in a self-healing process, because we're always growing, always, unless we're not, which is not a good place to be, unless you're really kind of coming off a huge situation and you've healed. Like life is like this, okay? It goes up and down, up and down. So no matter what valley or peak you're in or on, just remember that we can recharge each other too. It has never really felt as deep when people come up to me and talk to me about my art or music, which is really strange. But I feel more of a connection when people come up to me and talk to me about these specific videos. And I think that it's because I'm sharing my gut, right? And I'm doing this because I know that I'm a messenger. I'm not doing this for any other reason other than I know how much it can help other people too. And I've always had that in me, and it's always been difficult for me to balance that and make sense of that with art and music. Also, it's like, I think it's something that a lot of artists go through, but I think you don't even have to be an artist to go through things like this. I think a lot of people question, why am I doing this? What's the point, right? And I found myself asking myself this a lot throughout my career, a lot throughout my life. And I think it's an important question to ask ourselves. Why are we doing what we're doing? And why are we giving certain energy to certain things and certain people? Are those certain things and certain people serving you, and are you serving them, right? How is that working? And I think that a lot of people have lost sight of this. And this is a big part of being human. It's one of the more beautiful things. And when you can look people in the eye, which I apologize, it's just way too bright out here for me to not have my glasses on. But when you look people in the eyes, right? And you can tell that sincerity of gratitude and love, you instantly have a connection with someone for the best reason ever. And it doesn't have to be this long drung out thing. Like today, this gal, when she came up to me, I was just so grateful. And I was trying to hold back my tears because it touched me so much to know that she said, you say, even if you're only able to reach one person, she said, I'm that one person, just so you know. And that it gives me chills. And it's because sometimes we can feel really alone when we need to refuel. Sometimes we can feel, cut off from anybody or anything that makes sense. You don't even have had to have lost anybody or anything to feel this way. And it's important that we all remember that we're all human and we all go through this, and you're allowed to hold hands through it. You're also allowed to distance yourself. Okay. We all have different needs based on, I've said it before, our value system, our core values, and based on what we need in that moment and in that chapter. Life is a big, big book of chapters. It's not just one story. And that's becoming more and more evident as we do grow faster, as humanity and society continues to change, especially in the new age. It's happening faster and faster and faster. So the best thing you can do is unplug for even just a few minutes and don't reboot yourself until you've given yourself, at least give yourself what you give your machines to cool off. If I were to run my Sony camera, okay, it would overheat and shut off, and it will not shut back on. Has this ever happened to you, the camera or your phone? It will not turn back on until it cools off. We're cooking ourselves, we're cooking our brain, we're cooking our hearts by not unplugging and giving ourselves a little bit of self-care. And then you're going to notice little gifts from the universe that come down and go, hey, guess what? Good job taking a minute to yourself. And sometimes it's really hard to turn this off. It's hard to turn the brain off. The rumination can be really bad for me sometimes. I've talked about this. And sometimes it's like I just don't know what to do. And sometimes it means go out and hang out with somebody, or go meditate and try to pretend like there's no past and no future. That's what RJ Spina says and talks about in his book, Change Your Mind. I'm going to link that below. His next book, I think it's The Law of Attention, I think is what it's going to be called, but it's something about the attention, because he says attention is the new oil. That's coming out on the 8th of August. And I am a huge fan. This is not a sponsored video, but I will put the Amazon link down to Change Your Mind, which is the book I read and it changed my life. And I think his new book is for pre-order, which I'm just a big fan, and I believe in a lot of what he says. So anyway, but again, I just want you to remember that whatever you focus on is what you get more of. And sometimes we've got to brainwash ourselves in that refuel stage. Okay. So whether you've not gone through abuse, or you have, or maybe you've lost family members or your best friends, or maybe you just simply feel alone and you haven't lost anybody. Okay. Be silent and still for a second and then act. Okay. Get yourself in alignment with a little bit of recharge, refuel. Go take a nap, go eat a snack. Just switch it up for a second. Put your face in a bucket of ice water. Sometimes that can reset. Okay. We are basically strings inside. We're just all wires. And sometimes we're just overheated and we're overdoing it. You've got to give yourself the opportunity to slow down, restart. Okay. Just do that. There's nothing different between us and those machines when it comes to that. You must refuel. Do you think a car is going to keep driving and driving and driving without refueling? No. No, no, no. Okay. Is a car going to keep driving if you don't charge it, if it's an electric car? No, it's not. Okay. You have to recharge yourself. Okay. Because you're more energy than you are matter. So a car can't just take itself to the gas station. It needs an energy of some sort to take it, to get it, either gas or to plug it in. You are the same way, but you got to do it for yourself. And when you start grabbing for outside things that are material and short-lived, whether it's booze or it's sugar or it's something that we all are guilty of at one point or another in our life, or maybe you go and you overextend yourself to other people when you're feeling depleted, and then you start to resent the people that you've overextended yourself to because you suddenly feel drained. Why do you think you feel drained? Because you thought you were refueling yourself, because by helping other people you're getting that energy back, but you've got to pull it out of the wall first. Stop first, then act and do stuff like that. Okay. I've made these mistakes plenty of times, and I cannot tell you, welcome to Key West. I cannot tell you how valuable this lesson has been, where I can just unplug. I knew I had some hard things to do last week. What did I do? I unplugged. I told my closest friends and everybody, I said, listen, just want to let you know I love you and I am not mad. I just am taking some alone time so that I can refuel myself to prepare myself for the hard things I need to do this week. And they're like, okay, just, it's okay. And if people don't understand that, bye bye. They're not for you in that chapter. That's just my opinion from my perspective and my experience. So just remember, it's okay to recharge yourself. And it's also okay to, for example, this gal helped me today and reminded me that it's probably time to make a video. And it's probably time to talk from a new space that I'm in right now, that I'll be in while I navigate my life now. And I have been very careful about vlogging my actual life because I know that I've been watched and it's just been kind of creepy to know that there's certain people that are kind of stalking, but I'm choosing to ignore that. And I have a lot that I want to talk about on here and share with you guys. And if you're more interested in short form, like personal content, like one-on-one, like as if we're just buddies, like talking on the phone, a lot of my short form content has that. So anyway, I just wanted to leave that with you guys. Don't forget to refuel yourself, okay? We're like little batteries. And it's really important to remember that. All right. So I hope that that helps you today. And thank you to the gal who came up to me today. I really needed that just as much as I guess you need these videos. So it really means a lot to me. And I'm so happy that we can all connect here. And just leave in the comments below what you've learned in this video today. And maybe if there's something that you would like for me to talk about or give my spin on, let me know in the comments below as well. I would love that. All right, you guys? All right. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.